Cool. So while my slides show up, so my name is Mohammed Danish. I work for SAP as a product marketing leader. I've been in the marketing space for almost 15 years, working for organizations such as IBM, Microsoft, and now SAP. Last 10 years have been predominantly in the product marketing space. So before I kind of get my slides up here, sorry, let's go back. A quick show of hands. I'm assuming most of you are marketeers. Any non-marketers in the room? Yeah, maybe one. Who amongst you have studied marketing in school and colleges in some form? I'm assuming all of you. So then I hope most of you would have seen this in some form or the other. It's the product life cycle graph where this is a journey a product goes through from the time of introduction to growth to getting mature and eventually getting decline and phasing out. I won't deep dive into the PLC per se, but as product marketeers, if you see traditionally, the way we have done marketing in the past is we align our marketing strategies with various life cycles of a product. So if we are introducing a product or launching a product, our marketing strategies will be different versus if our product is going through a mature curve, our marketing strategies will be completely different, right? When we are introducing, we focus more on building brand equity. We spend our marketing monies on spending on media and not really caring much about the demand generation aspect of marketing. Versus when your product's in the maturity cycle, you tend to milk the brand. You tend to focus on investing more around demand generation, right? So this was traditionally how product marketing was used to happen, right? More so because our customer at that time wasn't changing so much. So if you were marketing to a CIO, you would. I would say his consumer behavior wasn't changing so drastically, right? Hence, you spent a lot of time focusing on your product, working with product managers, working with sales, and most of your marketing strategies were aligned to your product's life cycle, right? So today we're going to talk about experience management and what has changed in the last 20 years. So I was talking to one of the Gartner analysts at Gartner Symposium a couple of months ago in Gold Coast, and he provided me a nice perspective. He said that if we look at the last 20 years of innovation change that has happened, right? If you look at the 2000 to 2010 era, it was all about the internet boom, where the internet moved from being a novelty to a commodity, where we saw the evolution of 2G to 3G to 4G, and now we only talk about 5G, right? Then the next decade, 2010 to 2020, it was all about mobile and applications boom, right? How mobile almost became an inseparable part of our lives, right? I was looking at some numbers. Today we are at 5 billion mobile users in the world, which is 66% of the world population have mobile handsets. So it's staggering growth in the last 10 years, right? He said that in the next 10 years, if you look at it, what these last 2 decades have done, they've empowered the customer a lot. So the next 10 years is going to be about customer experience, which means that our customer has become extremely, power, and he's never been in a better position to evaluate the options you have in hand from a services standpoint or a product standpoint, right? So the study says that 80% of our customers would switch their brands due to a poor brand experience, right? This is a study that SAP has done in partnership with some research partners, and they say that 60% of customers are now ready to pay a premium just to get a better customer experience, right? And it's fair, right? If you look at the products these days are not too different from each other. If you look at any industry, say banking, right? You pick up the top 4 banks in Australia. And you compare from a services standpoint, they're not really different. Like maybe a couple of changes, but at a high level, their products or the services that they offer is not different. So it all comes down to the experience that a customer is having at the end of the day. If you look at cars, right? If you pick up any car in a particular category, not a big difference from a product standpoint. Hence, the customer experience that you provide, becomes a very critical factor to not just gain customers, but to sustain them in the long term. For an organization, there are four core areas of experience zones, as you call them, right? There's a customer experience zone, product experience, employee experience, and brand experience. If we have to be able to improve an overall customer experience of an organization, we need to impact these four pillars of an organization, right? Good news is that marketing as an organization can impact all these four pillars, right? Again, SAP has done this research with our research partners, and we spoke to a couple of CEOs, and they say 80% of CEOs believe that their companies offer a superior customer experience, versus if you go and talk to their customers, only 8% of those customers agree that they have great experience going through a buyer's journey for their organization. So staggering 92% of this gap of understanding of what our customers make. We believe that if you do your customer, if you get this customer experience game right, you can turn your customers into fanatics. You can convert products into obsessions and brand into movements. If you see the likes of Apple or Harley Davidson, or what you see what Uber has done to the transport industry, or what Airbnb has done to the hospitality industry, all of those brands are experience-based brands, right? So they go beyond products. I believe that marketing has a great opportunity at this time, right? And look at it this way, right? If you pick up an organization and you divide that organization into three halves, there's a back office, there's a middle office, and there's a front office, right? A CEO of that organization has a clear leader in the back office in the name of a CFO. He owns that function, right? He has a clear leader for the mid office, which is the COO, who runs the operations of the company. But if he comes to the front office of that organization, he doesn't really have a clear leader. There is a sales function who is front-ending. There's a marketing function who's front-ending, and then there is services organizations who could be front-ending, or support function could be front-ending. But if he really has to pick one organization or one person who can lead that function, just like a CFO or a COO, he doesn't have that leader, right? I believe that marketing has that, or a chief marketing officer or the marketing function has the opportunity to walk into that leader's position to be the front office leader for a company, because marketing is the only function that can impact a customer's journey right from the time a customer is looking to, evaluating to buy a product, to the time he actually ends up buying a product, and even beyond that, right? I like what Craig David says. He says we need to stop interrupting what people are interested in and be what people are interested in doing, right? How do we do that? It's a very simple way of looking at it. And from a product marketing standpoint, or a product marketer standpoint, there is a brand purpose to a go-to-market plan, and then there is what our customers are looking for. I think we as marketeers, or we as product marketeers, do a fantastic job understanding what we stand for, what our products stand for, what is a single-minded proposition our products offers to our customers. But we don't really spend a lot of time understanding what our customers are looking for, right? It's almost an inside-out perspective when we go to market, right? We believe that if you are able to find this sweet spot of what you are offering and what a customer is looking for, I think you will be able to move that needle from a customer experience standpoint. You have to, be like, I like what Jay Baer says. It says, make marketing so useful that the customers end up paying for it. You have to be that equity. This is a very typical life cycle of a product purchase, right? When a customer goes through buying a solution, he goes through awareness, evolution, purchase, and retain, right? So what typically happens is, from a marketing standpoint, either our efforts start too up in the value chain, too early in the buyer's journey, or we start right at the bottom. So either we are trying to recruit new customers or gain new customers, and running demand generation activities and making sure we get enough leads, or we are trying to protect our install base, or making sure our customers who bought from us stay with us, right? What we don't do is that we our customers are going through a journey, right? When they start scouting for solutions on the internet, or talking to any of one of their friends, or walk into a shop to evaluate a product, till the time they actually end up buying the product, that customer is looking for answers. That's a journey it's going through. And I believe that as marketeers, if we are able to answer those questions along the journey of that buying cycle, if we answer those questions, I think we succeed as marketeers. That's how we kind of provide the experience that customer is going through from a buyer's journey standpoint. So personalization, I think this is one of the biggest trends. I'm talking about knowing your customers and understanding your customers. This has become one of the biggest trends in the marketing space these days, right? Everybody's talking about you should know your customers. And I have three fundamental points or things to ponder, right? One is, yes, personalization is good, but how much personalization is good personalization, right? For example, I have a customer called John, and I think we all know everything about John, what car he drives, where his kids go to school, what phones he carries, or what books he reads, etc. I think we all want to know that information as marketers, so we can customize our communication. But if you really ask John, if he wants us to know all this information, the answer most likely is no. More personal you get, scarier it becomes, right? So that's the ethical angle. So do we want to know that much? Second angle is data. Like I talk to a lot of marketers in my day-to-day life, and I really ask them, like, how much data do you have for your customers, right? Right from contact information, mobile numbers, phone numbers, to forget about the other insights. How much data do you? I don't get a very confident answer. Like if you talk about B2B space, and there's a research done by the Drum Group at the global level, that only 18% of B2B marketers are really confident of their data, of their customer data. So I feel that if 18% is the level of confidence you have on the data, then what personalization are we talking about? I think we need to first get that data right to start creating communication channels to talk to our customers. And third angle on personalization is this entire concept of how marketing works, right? It's this concept of having a hyper-personalized approach to having a broad understanding, a broad-based campaign. Like if somebody has to market to me as a marketeer, and if that communication is hyper-personalized to me, like it's for me as an individual, it's very unlikely that I will end up sharing that communication with anybody else or any of my fellow marketeer. Versus something broadly relevant to me as a marketeer, I may end up sharing it on social media or email it to my other marketing colleagues. Like, I always think of movies as an example. Have you ever seen a movie being made for one individual or one family or even one city? When the movie makers make movies, they make it for the entire world. It's broadly relevant. That's how it becomes a campaign. That's how it becomes. That's how it's watched. So I think as marketers, we need to think that personalization is good, but how much personalization is good personalization? These 3 points I want you to leave you with. I think this is an insert because I work for SAP, but I really believe in this. You can't give your customers what they want if you don't listen to what they have to say. And this takes me back to 15 years ago when I started my career as a marketing intern. I used to work for an advertising agency. And those days where you would just go into the streets, talking to customers, doing WOPs, POPs, filling paper surveys, getting insights, asking questions to your customers, and then using that data to build campaigns, right? Today, I don't think we've stopped doing that as marketers. I don't think we ever go and talk to our customers. I mean, the only source of insights for us is probably talking to our sales guys or surfing online, right? I think we need to go out more and build a little more outside-in perspective. And we don't really have to do Vox Pop these days or do focus groups. There are tools available to do that. And an organization like SAP can actually do that. And SAP is actually investing in this entire experience management space. What does it mean? So I spoke about data and the importance of having the right data to be able to provide the right customer experience, right? We divide data into two categories. One is called the X data, right? So, the O data, which is the business data, where It comes from applications like ERP or your employee HR management solution, or it comes from your supply chain solutions. It gives you information like sales numbers or your employee attrition or your inventory in your warehouses, etc. Right? It's a very important critical data, and almost every business, small or large, has this, right? And they use this O data, we call it operational data, to make business decisions, right? There's a second category of data we are defining. It's called experience data, right? This data is about the emotions, the beliefs, the intent of our customers, right? It's basically coming from the listening tools that are available. It's coming from social media platforms. It's coming from surveys. It's basically hearing customers and listening to what they have to say. We call it the experience data, right? Most of those the organization these days don't track the X data. They basically focus on the operational part of data management. And we believe that if we are able to get the right mix of X and O, basically O tells you what's happening in your business, right? X will tell you why is it happening, and it can happen at the employee level and at the customer level. And if you guys want to know more about how SAP is helping our customers and how can you actually, it's very important for marketers. So definitely reach out to me and I can connect you to the right people. I'll just leave you with some comments here. Please don't buy. People don't buy what you do; they buy why you do it. So be credible, know your brand position, and know your customers. Deliver experiences your competitors cannot. Thank you. So, bye.